The results in the race for Detroit City Clerk causing some controversy tonight, and now the candidate who lost says he's considering demanding a recount. Good evening, everybody. The race for Detroit City Clerk was very, very close last night.
Awfully close, as you see here, just a 1,400 vote difference. Now, Garlin Gilchrist, the challenger, says he might want to recount. We bring in Steve Garagiola with more. This is really interesting, Steve, because throughout the evening, Gilchrist was leading most of the night, and then a very dramatic shift occurred late in the evening.
Absolutely, and I think that shift is what has prompted all this talk about a recount. The Gilchrist people were feeling very good all night, and they felt it slipped away very quickly. And the word that came up today most often was transparency. They want to see how this election played out. Now, whether or not this leads to an actual recount, we still don't really know. It was the closest race in Detroit. Janice Winfrey winning re-election as the city's clerk by a mere 1,400 votes. Early results last night had Gilchrist in the lead, but a late surge attributed to absentee ballots for Winfrey gave her the election.
I think that those are the ones that were starting to come in later, and that's where we started to see the tide shift. And that just causes us, and I think causes voters, to really want to understand what's going on.
Gilchrist says his people heard about numerous irregularities from voters who chose absentee ballots.
There were multiple absentee voters who actually received multiple confirmation receipts after only casting one ballot.
Gilchrist says voters also encountered irregularities at the polls yesterday.
And there was a gentleman who went to vote at Western High School in Southwest Detroit, and when he got to the polling place, he was actually told that he already voted by absentee ballot, which he had not done.
State law doesn't allow precincts to be recounted when the number of voters in the poll book doesn't match the number of ballots in the ballot box. So at this point, Gilchrist doesn't know if he can even get a complete recount.
We've been talking about since March that the way that votes are counted needs to be open and transparent for everyone to see, to remove those questions, to remove that doubt.
Now, nobody's making any accusations of any kind of fraud, but they are talking about mistakes, as he alluded to this afternoon. So where it stands right now is he says they are putting together a plan to see if a recount is an advisable step to take. Back to you.
As I remarked last night, Steve, there's sort of an irony about a recount in the clerk's office, given that the clerk is the one counting the votes. So since the clerk is where the votes are counted, talk a little bit about how a recount would be handled.
Well, you know, the irony in this, too, if the numbers don't match in these precincts and they can't do a recount because of errors, that would benefit the clerk who won.
Oh,
so
well,
it's
true.
her system.
Yeah.
Yeah, if her system didn't work, she wins. The Board of Canvassers for Wayne County have to certify the vote. So within the next couple of weeks, then, the Gilchrist people will look at the numbers and decide if they want to spend the money to get a recount.
Can be a very expensive effort, that's for sure. All right, Steve.